Hey, what's up everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so Lakers got the Celtics tonight, man. Should be an interesting one. And to be honest with you, I'm a little cocky against these damn Celtics because we've been beating them without our stars. I don't think Anthony Davis played the last time we played the Celtics. We did beat them. I think Austin had a big game. The year before that, we played them and beat them without AD, without Bron. Smoked them that way. So I don't know. I just think that matchups tell the story a lot of times. Obviously, we don't know who we are against these Celtics now that we've moved Anthony Davis and Max Christie and all these different people. But we've been beating the hell out of people. Celtics are not playing their greatest ball. They've been playing on a low difficulty, given the fact they played Portland. Denver was not themselves against Boston. Played Philly, minus a bunch of people. I just don't think they're playing their best ball right now. I don't think they're as focused as they need to be. They're going to bring back everybody who's been missing for the last 4 games. All these players like Porzingis and Hardaway supposed to be coming back in this particular game. I just don't think much of what Boston's doing right now. I just think they're kind of coasting. Maybe they wake up for this one because it's the Lakers and Luka. My understanding, this is going to be the most expensive ticket game that the Boston Celtics have ever had, with the tickets being as low as $489 or something like that in nosebleeds. Yeah, it's the Laker Bron effect. That's what it is. You put Luka on the Lakers next to Bron, now everybody gets to raise their tickets when the Lakers come to town. So maybe they wake up for this one in that regard. Maybe they look at this as the big game. Peyton Pritchard and Derek White's been particularly hot lately. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jason Tatum had a really hot game last time he was out there. So maybe the Celtics prove that they are the best team in the league, or whatever type of statement that they want to make. But I personally think OKC and Cleveland have been better than them all year long. I misspoke a little earlier and said that the Celtics had the 1 seed locked up. I meant to say the 2 seed. The Cleveland Cavaliers have the 1 seed locked up, in my opinion. I don't know if that's mathematically the case, but basically Cleveland has to lose all their games. Boston has to win all their games to get that. So I don't think much of that. I think that those teams are pretty much settled in their situation. And that's what I meant to say. I knew better, but I misspoke. Whatever the case may be, we're going to be seeing a Boston Celtics team that's the defending champion, who firmly believes that they're the best team in the league, who lives by the 3, who can also find himself dying by it. They got some new players on their team. Well, a new player in Torrey Craig, who had a really good game against Philly. He's also from LA. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, he went to Fairfax High, which is a local high school from the Hollywood area. I didn't go there myself. I actually went to one of their rivals, Hollywood High, but he's from over here. That's basically what it's about. So, I'm pretty sure he's going to be wide awake for the Laker game if he gets any minutes tonight. I don't know if he does, given that they're going to have all their stars, everybody's back. So, the Celtics are considered to be the best team. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I understand they have a souped-up roster. They're amongst the best teams. They're probably maybe second or third. But to say they're better than Cleveland, I ain't seen nothing that tells me they're better than Cleveland. Not in their play, not in the record. I just ain't seen it. So that's my thing. Maybe I'm downplaying the defending champions, but like I said in the video that I made about them, I don't respect their championship. I feel like if they would have had even the most minuscule amount of resistance, they could have potentially been upset. But because they ran into nothing but depleted basketball teams throughout the entire playoffs, who the hell they beat? That's my thing. Throughout the course of the playoffs, you couldn't have prayed for a better path to capture a championship. You couldn't have prayed for a better path. This team didn't have no kind of path that had any resistance to it whatsoever. Even in the finals, they ran into Luka Doncic playing injured. The Indy team was depleted. The Knicks team was depleted. I don't remember who they saw other than that. But whoever the hell it was a depleted team. Injuries that ate up the entire competition for the Celtics. All they had to do was beat up on people's benches all the way through the playoffs. And so for me, you want me to respect them as the defending champions, best team in the league? You can only play who's in front of you. People love to diminish our Lakers for our 2020 bubble chip. But our bubble chip was significantly more hard to capture than this Boston Celtic number 18. Significantly more difficult to capture. I dare somebody argue with that. So that's my thing. I don't. If ever there was a championship with an asterisk next to it, it was that championship. That one was like, are you serious? Anybody, and when I say anybody, any of the playoff teams on either conference, if they would have had that path, they too would have had a chance to see the Dallas Mavericks in the finals. Now, that do they beat the finals? Mavericks? Probably not. Not every team would have beat that Mavericks team, even would have hurt Luka Doncic. But every team would have beat the depleted New York Knicks. Every team would have beat the depleted Indiana Pacers. And whoever the hell else that was they saw, I think it was Cleveland, without Donovan Mitchell, they would have beat them too. So it's like, no, man, I'm not giving Boston no respect for that championship. They got it. They beat who was in front of them. Congratulations. But please don't expect for me to sit up here and just count them as one of the great champions or some stupid stuff. I mean, nah, man, their path was ridiculous. Easy as it gets. I don't think it gets much easier than that path, to be honest with you. I really don't. And so that's what I'm saying to y'all. I don't have nothing to say about the Boston Celtics other than they beat who was in front of them. Congratulations to them. We're going to see if they really like that when they run into a real team tonight. That's how I feel. Could they have won their championship if we were on the other side with Luka Doncic and LeBron James and what we got? I don't know. Because I definitely think we're better than that Dallas team right now. I definitely think that. So, I don't know, man. You tell me. Is Boston really that? I don't know. Not based on what I've seen, no. They shoot a lot of threes. They play some real good defense. They got some ridiculously souped up roster because people made dumb trades in their favor. Maybe you say the same thing about the Lakers. That's cool. You can say that. But that trade that they made to get Drew Holiday was halfway ridiculous, to be honest with you. When you consider Robert Williams played 30 games a season, and what's that dude's name? Malcolm Brogdon is also one of the most injury-prone players in basketball. They were able to turn him into Drew Holiday because Portland's stupid behind. So, nah, man, nah. The Porzingis trade, you know, I don't remember who was involved in that trade, but Boston definitely didn't give up nothing great. Would they give up Grant Williams or something like that? Man, come on, man. People was giving Boston stimulus packages, and that goes under the radar. Under the radar. Everybody want to talk about how Lakers got Luka Doncic. How the hell did the Celtics get all this crap they got? How the hell they get all this crap? People doing favors for them, that's why. So, call me a Celtics hater. I'm proudly doing that just off the strength of my Lakers. But even if they were a different team, I'd still have the same opinion because it's this manufactured nonsense over there in Boston. Manufactured nonsense. They shoot 1 million threes. They got a bunch of weird trades that gave them all their pieces. And I'm not one that respects any of that. I don't respect none of that. I didn't respect how they handled the coaching situation when their coach got caught up in that situation off the court. They swept that under the rug. It's just, man, Celtics, they're getting away with something. I'm just telling y'all right now, they're getting away with something. Nobody's talking about them. Nobody's looking at them with a fine-tooth comb. But believe me, you start picking apart each and everything that they did to get what they got, including how they were able to fleece the Brooklyn Nets into giving them Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown's draft rights for old players. That's all. That's all I gotta say. So, yeah, I'm very, very ready for Boston mentally. That don't mean we're gonna go in there and win because players gotta play, man. We learned that lesson with the Denver Nuggets last year. I was mentally ready for the Denver Nuggets. Let's bring them on. I don't care. But at the end of the day, I'm not out there running wrong. It's up to the Lakers to run around and play well. I can sit up here and have bravado and vitriol, talk crap all I want. At the end of the day, I got to sit on the couch and watch other people run around on my behalf. So I don't come with an attitude thinking that just because I feel this way that my team's going to show up. I'd like to think they will, but they've proven to me that they may not. They've very much proven to me they may not. And so that's what it is for me. I have a lot more faith in this team than the team that we had. I'll tell you that. But at the end of the day, this Laker team, they got to show up. It's not about what I think. It's about what they do. And if they don't show up, they will lose. It's that simple. And so I've learned that lesson. I was on that path of, the Lakers, I ain't afraid of none of these things. I don't have to be afraid. I ain't the one getting my butt kicked out there. You see what I'm saying? I don't have to back up my conversation. I speak, they gotta back up my conversation. So that's really what it is. I am ready for the Celtics. Are the Lakers? I hope so. I hope they come in with the same confidence I feel I have. Because I ain't afraid of them, dude. I'm not afraid of them. If they flex their superpower, they can beat anybody any night. Fair. They can shoot 73s, hit 30 of them, and you ain't gonna beat them. Fair. But the Detroit Pistons 5 games ago showed me exactly where that doesn't work. They scored 97 points on the Detroit Pistons, attempted 1,000,000 threes. The Pistons killed them on the glass. The Pistons killed them in the paint. Pistons got out in the fast break, laid the ball up on their head. That's it. That's what you need to do. And they're going to live or die with them damn threes. Because they're not really looking to attack you in the paint like that. They don't really have that type of talent right now. They're shooting threes. Their offense is set up around just launching, and defending on the other side. If it works, it works. If Al Horford and Porzingis out there shooting like madmen, you're pretty much dead. You're not, you know what I mean? Derek White's going to shoot. Drew Holiday going to shoot. Jason Tatum going to shoot. Jaylen Brown has gotten a lot better as a three-point shooter. So they got guys that can shoot. Sam Hauser, all these people, they're going to shoot. But are they going to get in the paint? Are they going to be able to keep you off the glass and all these different things? These are the questions that I need that Boston Celtics team to answer me tonight. You know, the way that my Lakers fought against that New York Knicks team, we were down by 11 points? Maybe 13 points, something like that. That was pretty impressive. They had a bunch of dogs that I can say outclass our dogs. Their dogs are better than our dogs. But we still found a way to overcome a deficit, catch them in crunch time, and outplay them somehow. I thought that was extremely impressive, especially how Gabe Vincent was hitting shots. You know, Jackson Hayes and how well he played on the glass, getting lobs, continuing to be as comfortable as he is with those playmakers finding him on lobs. His defense and his rim protection has gotten so much better. I'm very, very happy with him. You know, that's something I'm really looking forward to, seeing his growth continue. Since we're forced to use him, it's great that he's playing outside of his body and continuing to improve. And we forget he's only 24 years old, so how much better can he get? You know, maybe he can get a lot better. Who knows? He was drafted at the same time as Zion, so it's not like he's older in this league or outside of his prime. He's just entering it. So I feel really good about Jackson Hayes. Even if he don't turn into some all-star, if he can keep playing the way he's playing, that may be enough for us. So, and then you look at our other center, whom we still have to put on a real roster. I'm still kind of nervous that the Lakers are going to screw that up. But Trey Jemison must be put on the roster. Jordan Goodwin must be put on the roster, man. I don't want anybody to think that I believe we win all these games. We in an 8-game winning streak. You don't have an 8-game winning streak if those two players weren't a part of your situation. You don't have that. And so if you think that you can get those guys off the team and then replace them in the playoffs with Shake Milton and Lynn, I think you're going to get the same production or same type of success. I don't believe you will. I don't believe you will. It's the dogs and those two players that really complement our stars. We need those players on the floor. We got to get them on regular roster spots. So that's what I'm saying, man. That is something that I'm pushing for. I'm pushing for that. I don't know if the Lakers have plans to do that or if they're going to chicken out because of contractual circumstances. Maybe they're eased by the idea that maybe we won't use those guys in the playoffs anyway. But once you get to the playoffs, you want to do what you did to get you as far as you got. You don't want to deviate from stuff that was working and overthinking, shrinking your bench and not using role players that do a lot of dirty work for you. I am a firm believer. If it took 10 to get you there, it's gonna take you 10 to get you home. You know what I mean? And that's really what I have to say about the playoffs. I'm not of the mindset, let's shrink our bench to 7 players and overuse those 7 players. Nah, that's not smart. I'm in the mindset, a complete opposite mindset of most people in the NBA. I don't shrink my bench at all in the playoffs. I don't shrink my bench at all. The same role players that I'm using in regular games be the same role players I'm going to use in the playoffs, and I'm going to stay healthy because of it. Because I'm not going to ask 7 people to just run themselves into the ground over and over and over again in the playoffs. Hell no. That don't make no sense to me. And so that's what my head is. A lot of people believe in shrinking. When the NBA, we shrink our bench in the playoffs. No, that's not. That never made any sense to me at all. Never made any sense. So that's what I want to say. I think Jordan Goodwin and Trey Jemison should both be a part of our playoff roster. If we expect to have the same success in the playoffs that we have right now, we had better have those players on that roster. And so that's what I have to say right now. I think the Lakers are very important contenders, but they can't disrespect the ingredients that got them there. These ingredients are extremely important. And so that's what I'm here to say, man. I like what we got going on in terms of the energy that all of these dogs bring us. And you got Vanderbilt now a part of the situation playing hard. Dodo now a part of the situation playing hard. Bron is able to focus more on playing hard on the defensive end and helping those guys with what he does instead of having to take up so much of the offensive load for which he was responsible for with Anthony Davis and his style. Anthony Davis's style required LeBron James to do more. That's what I've come to understand. We didn't realize how much easier life gets when you replace Anthony Davis with somebody like Luka Doncic. I would not have told you that. I saw that in my mind's eye. Not to say that I did too much thinking about us actually getting a guy like Luka, because I certainly didn't. But like if you would have asked me just outright randomly 6 months ago, do I think our team is going to be able to allow LeBron James to rest more because Luka comes in and plays Anthony Davis? I'd have said no. Because Anthony Davis is responsible for so many rebounds. Anthony Davis helps so much on the defensive end, rim protection. And in my mind's eye, I would have said that we didn't have any rim protection. I don't know how we're going to defend. We may be able to score, but we can't defend. Well, that's just not what's been. The reality is our defense has stepped up. The others that we have on our team shift us into being a pretty damn good defensive team. And what ends up happening is some of the things that Anthony Davis was not able to do on the offensive end, Luka is able to do, and making people better and stretching the floor and just ultimately accounting for more guaranteed points from night to night to night. As to where Anthony Davis, I didn't know if he was going to give me 41 some nights. Some nights he's going to give me 30. Some nights he's going to give me 15 and be neglectful in attacking on the offensive end, missing push shots and being late to get back on defense when he's going for layups and laying on the ground and stuff like that. You know, our transition defense was terrible with Anthony Davis. We don't have that problem with Luka Doncic. You can say he's out of shape, whatever. He's been a plus on the defensive end and probably led the team in steals since being here. So it's like, as I said before Luka even started shooting better, I said I was most impressed with his defensive intensity and talking on the defensive end during the first couple of games when he was on this team. And that's what I saw that stood out to me. I'm like, yo, Luka is really active on the defensive end. He's trying. He is trying on the defensive end. Now, I don't even look at him as a minus player on the defensive end. I feel rather confident our defense is going to be very strong with him down there with the lineups that JJ is using defensively. As to where with Dallas, people are like, oh, this is a bad defensive player. And I tell people, his bad defensive play in the finals had to do with him literally playing injured. Literally playing injured against them Celtics. He wasn't healthy at all. He was playing through a hobbled leg. He was bleeding, for God's sakes. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like a lot of his defensive woes and some of his stuff, he was still cooking them on the offensive end, hurt. And so for me, it's like, yo, we got a much healthier Luka Doncic right now than they had in the finals going up against them in Celtics. So for me, I think that his defense has improved. Our team defense and our defensive schemes and our defensive IQ is just flat out better than Dallas's ever was. In any of the years that he's been at Dallas Mavericks, our team defense right now is better than all of that. So for me, it's just like, man, a lot of it has to do with who else is on the floor with you. A lot of it has to do with how intense your defensive players around you are playing and how much responsibility you have on the offensive end from which to give the defensive end. And Luka don't have as much responsibility on the offensive end himself because of LeBron James. You know, because of Austin Reeves. So it's like you get a better defender out of both of those guys because they can focus more in on it. And Luka is so gifted at finding himself in positions to intercept passes. That's what I find is a gift of his. He's good at that. he'd come up with a pass just off the strength of being in the way. You know, he just finds himself in the right spaces at the right time. And next thing you know, you're going the other way with him having the ball in his hands. It's like, yo, he is a very, very underappreciated and underrated defensive player. That's what him being on my team for 11 or 12 games has taught me. Hey, this is a underrated defensive player. And with him being an underrated defensive player, oh man, we're definitely a contender. We're definitely a contender. You can't tell me we're not a contender. Because this guy is going to continue to be parts of positive defensive play. And on the offensive end, well, I mean, you know what it is. You know what it is. Even on off nights, we're beating teams. You know, so good luck, man. That's what I'm telling people. Good luck. I'm seeing LeBron James find himself in positions he never had to be in. Corner three-point shots down the stretch. Being able to, you know, exert so much energy on the defensive end because all he has to do is trot around. You know, the pace that Luka plays at and the way that Luka plays, it's a lot of standing around for LeBron James at times. He don't have to do nothing. Luka dance in his spot, shoot his three, hit the three, trot back down. No transition buckets to try to sprint back because of bad turnovers, although we do turn the ball over a little much with Luka. A good portion of the time, that's what's happening to you. He's breaking you down, he's shooting his shot, and then he gets to trot back down court and set up the defense. So you cut down on the possessions where there's a lot of scrambling. And then when you insert a guy like Dodo and a guy like Vanderbilt, they handle scrambles better. We didn't have the privilege of having Vanderbilt throughout the course of the last 2 years, so it was responsible for some of these other guys who may not be as talented on the 50-50 balls and stuff like that in live ball situations to try to make up for what otherwise Vando's able to do right now. Some of those key boards, you have to exert energy to get the boards that he's getting. And so now that you have that player in place, it creates less energy required for your stars to have to exert on either end of the floor. So they have more for you down the stretch of these games for which they're going to be great at closing. So for me, it's like, man, we're still trying to work out the kinks on both sides of the ball. And we're beating up on good teams. We beat the Denver Nuggets handily. We had a big-time comeback game against the Knicks. We beat the Clippers twice in a row. And a lot of that, and I mean a whole lot of that, has to do with us being great on the defensive end. Our offense ain't even been that great. And so when that starts cooking, I'm telling you, it's going to start getting better around here from here. We're on an 8-game winning streak right now. We're going to start playing better ball going forward. Because LeBron and Luka are getting more and more comfortable with one another. Our defense is continuing to work these principles, which are working. JJ Redick's continuing to get more and more comfortable as a rookie coach. Remember, he's a rookie coach. We still got, 20 games left for these guys to continue to mesh and gel before the playoffs? The only thing I think can stop us at this point, injuries. And maybe a team with a double center like Cleveland or OKC. Because when you have two centers that you can throw at us, now you got LeBron James trying to guard centers, it's tough, especially in a 7-game series. But if we can avoid OKC and Cleveland, I don't know that there are too many teams that I'd pick over us in a 7-game series right now. We got to see how we look against Boston tonight. But assuming health, you're going to have a hard time beating our dogs and closing out our stars. Because not only do you have to find a way to stop our stars, but you got to also out-hustle these dogs. And that, in and of itself, is a headache for an opposing basketball team, for which most of them don't have dogs like this. You don't have too many New York Knicks teams that have dogs everywhere. You don't find that. That's not everywhere. And so for me, I'm just wondering, will the Los Angeles Lakers continue to stay healthy? Can we continue to keep our role players, the Gabe Vincents, the Jackson Hayeses, Trey Jimisons, Gabe Vincents, can we keep these people healthy? Because Luka is getting more and more comfortable as a Laker. He's starting to love his life as a Laker. Far more than he thought he would, sooner than he probably dreamed. And LeBron James is able to trot up and down the court and hit corner jumpers wide open because people are afraid to guard him fully because they can't leave Luka open. It's like, yo, man, I don't know how the hell you guard this. I don't know how you guard this. Even if you have the players like the New York Knicks who are able to out-scramble our dogs. You got to figure out how to guard those two while they're on the floor at the same time. And then hope to God Austin Reeves just doesn't even do the most basic of cooking out there. Because if Austin Reeves gets into his Indiana Pacer bag, you're done. You're done. To which he went off for 45 points and double-digit assists, if I'm not mistaken. If he gets into that bag while Luka and Bron are able to just be themselves, whoever the hell's on the other side of the basketball floor is probably going to lose, man. I don't see a team out there that can really stop that right now. Because the name of the game with basketball is what are you willing to give up? Well, you know, it's like certain things like, okay, we'll leave him open to take a shot. We'll leave him unguarded and we'll just live with the results. You can't do that with two number ones on the floor. You can't do that. You definitely can't afford to leave either one of them alone. And even if you double them, they could still cook you because they are who they are. It's almost like a Shaq and Kobe effect in a way. You can't leave. You can't guard that. So that's what we're starting to understand. They're at what, 70% loading right now as it pertains to their chemistry and gelling, and they're mowing past people with defense alone. Man, they start figuring out how to score like basically their strengths will allow them to figure out, and it's curtains. It is absolute curtains for the rest of y'all. It's curtains, bro. Because you're not gonna be able to stop them. You're not gonna be able to slow them down. You can't count on them missing shots or nothing like that. If you count on Luka Doncic going cold in the playoffs, you count on LeBron James getting out of play in the playoffs, good luck. Good luck, friends. And so that's what I'm here to tell you. I just don't think too much of it at this point other than to say we got to stay healthy. If we can't stay healthy, then we ain't got a chance. You know, that's really what it is. We lose a couple players and we're probably just a decent team. But if we can keep our full spectrum of what we have going on the floor for the rest of these playoffs and the rest of these regular season, I don't see us losing 7 games, dude. I don't see us losing 7 games for the rest of the way. It's Lakers in 5 in every series. It's Lakers in 5 in every series, bro. I'm telling you. So that's really what it is. I just don't see any other teams currently constructed, designed to have any real success against this type of thing. I don't think so. You got to go ahead and design something for this, if I'm being honest with you. But I do respect Cleveland because of their style of play and because of those twin towers that they have. That's the team that I say, all right, if the Lakers lost to them, I can see it. I could totally see us losing to them in 6. That's the only team I really look at and say I can totally see it because they've been playing great all season. They move the ball around like crazy. They have plenty of rim protection. They roll players, play hard, and hit shots. They got all types of stuff that you need to contend this year. So I'm not overly confident against them particularly. But pretty much everybody else, y'all got some severe flaws that are going to hurt you in a 7-game series against those 2 GOATs. That's what it really comes down to. You can't afford to pick and choose between which poison you're going. You're gonna go. What's gonna take you out? An atomic bomb or a bubonic plague? Like that's really what that is. It ain't like you just picking between the lesser of 2 evils. These are 2 that, even with the best defense pointed at them, can still go for career highs. Like this is not normal talent that the Lakers have at this point with those 2. And LeBron playing at a top 10 level right now. And Luka the Don with a chip on his shoulder having his heart broken, but ultimately find himself in a winning situation even better than the one he was in. Good luck, man. He's coming off NBA Finals appearance. This team's better than that one, in my opinion. Good luck. So that's pretty much my point of view. I have a lot of faith in what the Lakers have right now. And we're going to have the biggest test of the season for us thus far. Going into Boston tonight and going up against that team who shoots 1,000,000 threes and does play some really good defense. So we'll see what we look like against them. If we walk out of there with a win, that just boosts my confidence even more that this team pretty much can't really actually be stopped right now. So that's pretty much what I got to say. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.